Welcome, everybody. What is an idiom? We've talked about idioms before. Idioms are expressions that can't be taken literally. They are phrases that have a different meaning from what it would look like if we looked it up in a dictionary. So what we're going to do today is get our literature language notebooks set up, and you're going to do your first idiom entry. So you're going to open up your notebook to the next blank page. And at the very top, on that top blue line, you're going to write idiom number 15. This is an example page of what your notebook might look like once we add more information. But don't copy this. This is not exactly the information that you're going to be putting in your journal, your language notebook today. This is just an example so you know what it could look like later. So at the top of your page, you've written idiom number 15. And then you're going to write the word idiom and a colon. Later on, we'll fill in all this information. Skip a line after idiom, and then you're going to make a little T-chart, right? You're going to draw one line up and down, one line across as neatly as you can, and it should be about 4 or 5 lines tall. Right? So enough space to be able to write all of our information. So about 4 or 5 lines tall, just like the example. On the left-hand side, you're going to write literal meaning. On the right-hand side, you're going to write figurative meaning. Under that chart, skip another line, and then you're going to write teacher sentences and a colon. You'll notice in the example that there's some teacher sentences and the idiom is highlighted. We're going to do all of this stuff as we go along. So remember, make sure you've got idiom number 15 at the top, then write idiom on the next line and a colon, skip a line, make a chart that is about 4 or 5 lines tall. On the left, write literal meaning. On the right, write figurative meaning. Skip a line below that, and then write teacher sentences and a colon. So our idiom number 15, is go with the flow. Go with the flow.
Welcome to English in a Minute. If you have ever heard American English, you probably have heard this saying. Hey, man, go with the flow. This is a fun expression that can be used in many ways. Let's listen to this idiom in an actual conversation.
Should we stop and grab something to eat before we get to the movie theater, or do you just want to grab something at the movies? What do you think?
I like to go with the flow. Whatever you decide is cool with me.
This phrase makes you think of watching water. When you go with the flow, you swim in the direction that the water's moving. It's easy. In the same way, a person who goes with the flow easily fits into a given situation. Plus, it rhymes. Go, flow. Sounds nice. And that's English in a Minute.
All right, now let's go to that chart. You're going to fill in the literal meaning and the figurative meaning. The literal meaning is to move in the same direction that the water is moving. So write that down on the left side of the chart. On the right side of the chart, under figurative meaning, we're going to write what we really mean when we say this in English. When we say go with the flow, people mean to do something because it's easy to do what other people do because it's the easiest thing to do, or to say what other people say because it's the easiest thing to do. So take a moment and make sure you fill in your chart on the left side and the right side, the literal meaning and the figurative meaning. Now you're going to write in the teacher sentences. These are my sentences that I'm using to give you an example of how to write go with the flow in an actual sentence. She would just go with the flow because she did not want to cause problems. She agreed with her classmates during recess, even though she thought they were wrong. She felt too nervous to say anything. Notice that we're going to highlight the phrase, go with the flow. So make sure you have a highlighter or a colored pencil so that you can highlight or draw a colored box around go with the flow. She would just go with the flow because she did not want to cause problems. Notice that did not want to cause problems is underlined because the reason she goes with the flow is because she doesn't want to cause any problems. She wants to do what's easiest. She agreed with her classmates during recess, right? She agrees with them. She does what they do and says what they say, even though she thought they were wrong. She felt too nervous to say anything. So make sure you've written down my teacher sentences and then highlight the idiom, go with the flow.
Hey G, what's up, Blake? You know what's legit?
Nah, what's legit?
Do you know what's legit?
Nah, man. I don't know what's legit. I mean, I don't know the meaning of the word.
Legit, short for legitimate. But in this case, what I'm saying is, you know what's cool?
Oh, legitimate. Legit. Nah, man. What's legit?
Last night was legit! Yo, it blew my mind.
Mine too. How'd you get stuck in that tree, though?
I don't even know. How'd I get down?
I don't even know. What about that clown?
Oh man, that clown. Yo, that was crazy. And the banana.
That banana flew out of nowhere.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh. Last night. Legit.
Hey, is that?
Oh yeah.
Jack and Rick.
Yo! Hey! Yo, Jack! Rick, over here!
Get over here!
Yo!
Hey, we over here!
Yo!
Yo! What's up, guys?
You guys missed out on last night.
Oh, really? It was legit.
Nice.
Nice words. Right? We just bought them.
Really? Where?
Other side of the bridge at the skate shop.
Skate shop.
Yeah. Yeah. We were just going with the flow.
What, you know what that means either?
No. Guess you've been living under a rock.
I'm sure of that.
How do you explain go with the flow?
Well,
In this situation, it's like living for the moment.
yeah. So we saw the skate shop, and randomly we thought we should buy these boards.
See? Kind of like, don't need to plan every detail. Just feel the situation.
Exactly. Go with the flow of life.
Oh. Got something for you guys. Rick.
What?
Jack.
What?
Hey, put it on.
Say it. Go with the flow.
Yeah, let's go, let's go.
This is legit.
All right, so let's turn back to your notebook page in your language notebook. And now you're going to skip a line after the teacher sentences, and you're going to write my sentences. So my sentences is a spot for you, the student, to write some sentences. You're going to write 1, 2, or 3 sentences total, just like mine. You're going to use the idiom at least once and make sure that you highlight it. The sentences that you write can be made up or can be about real life, your choice. So let's take a few minutes here to write out your sentences. Don't forget to use the idiom and make sure to highlight the idiom where you've used it. If you need to, it's okay to copy the structure of the teacher sentences and change the people and events. All right, now finally, we're going to do the picture part. So skip a line maybe under your My Sentences section so that you can draw a picture or create an illustration. Write picture or illustration and colon. So you're going to draw a picture in the remaining space that shows what's happening in your sentence. You're drawing a picture, an illustration of your sentences. If you don't have enough room to draw on this side of the page, then just turn the page and use the next side. Make sure that you use color.